It's a drone!
Air defense is working. Oh.
But as I understand it, they have a target. However, Kronstadt and DMZ.
Retribution is pouring from the sky. Ukrainian drones are bringing vengeance right to the heart of Russia. Factories are burning, oil depots are exploding. The Moscow suburbs are shrouded in a smoky haze of fear. Chaos in the streets, explosions around the clock, and the air defense just watches as everything flies out of control. Putin's military industry is paralyzed. Blow after blow is knocking out the foundations of the regime. The Kremlin is bursting at the seams, and Russians are frantically searching for shelter but can't find any. All this and more ahead, watch until the end. Hello, this is Ukraine Today, it's me, Darina Hutsakalo, and the latest events. Russia is being torn apart by a massive breach of Russian air defenses, explosions all over the Federation, and Dubna, near Moscow, has taken a heavy hit from Ukrainian drones.
Number. Yes, I can see it.
It really is a drone, unequivocally confirmed as an unmanned aerial vehicle. Now there will be a significant and potentially devastating shockwave emanating from its impact or explosion. This raises immediate and critical questions. Should I attempt to jump to safety, and if so, where exactly would be the most secure location to seek refuge from the impending blast? Furthermore, a crucial uncertainty remains regarding whether authorities or defense systems will successfully shoot it down before it reaches its target or detonates, or if it will be allowed to proceed unimpeded, leading to catastrophic consequences.
Well, that was loud. Well then, so... Over there, actually. Nothing here.
I wonder, where were the drones headed? The Russians leaked all the information in the first minutes of the attack.
Well, as I understand it, they have one target, Kronstadt and DMZ.
And indeed, the Kronstadt and Dubna machine-building plants, which fed Putin's war machine, are burning and paralyzed. These are not the first attacks by Ukrainian drones on these lucrative targets. Precise strikes and no mercy each time.
That's all.
Factories producing drones. Molnia, Orion, Sirius, and Grim attract strikes like a magnet. Epic footage of the recent destruction has already gone viral online. Now that one was even stronger. And right back there again.
Which ones are flying at us? Large aircraft type drones, they get shot down with missiles.
I really think the red ones are coming from Ukraine.
From Ukraine?
Only those kinds fly.
Previously, drones were also produced by the Dubna machine-building plant, which specializes in manufacturing aviation and missile equipment, including Orion-type drones. Here's how it happened.
That's it! It is completely gone now. Vanished without a trace, utterly disappeared.
Drones raided Vnukovo and Mitishki. Drones attacked Lukovitsi, Moscow region at night. It's a real living hell there. The Russians are panicking. Next to the Lukovitsi aviation plant and an oil depot. I saw with my own eyes, off to the side of the plant, something just flew straight up there. It hit right there.
It hit. Whoa! The second one! Big hat! Big hat!
There were several hits on the plant. The consequences are being clarified.
Now the aviation plant, which assembles MiG-29 and MiG-35 fighters, has obviously worked its last day. Meanwhile, drones stirred things up in Russian Tula as well. However, clearly such a fiery night is not to the Russians' liking.
It's
flying very quietly, almost imperceptibly, and it's incredibly nearby, so close you can almost feel its presence. It's moving with such a gentle, hushed quietness, maintaining a profound sense of calm. Please try to calm down, as it is truly a peaceful presence.
It's flying.
It is, in fact, a flying unmanned drone.
Z channels didn't have time to post before a new series of explosions happened.
Residents of Tula and the region are reporting a large number of explosions.
Girl, please move away from the window. Why are you opening the curtains right now? Two explosions.
The epicenter of the events is the Proletarsky district. There are 3 huge Russian defense industry facilities located there. All of them work for Putin's army and are also legitimate targets for the Ukrainian armed forces.
Located there are JSC Instrument Design Bureau, which develops high-precision guided weapons, the Scientific and Production Association SPLAV, which manufactures multiple launch rocket systems, and JSC. Shiglevsky Val is one of the largest defense industry enterprises, which develops guided weapons.
The locals may not be thrilled about this kind of party in the middle of the show, but they never forget to record everything on camera. Also, the locals genuinely believe in the power of Russian air defense, saying there's no way anything could actually hit here.
It just simply cannot happen at all. Hey man, where is it flying from right now? There's smoke over there. They shot it down.
Taganrog didn't get any sleep that night either. These are the kinds of sounds Russians heard all night instead of lullabies. Taganroga Svetlana Tambulova reported that on the territory of the aviation plant, it seems that fragments of downed drones fell and there were no
Consequences. A mobile group was equipped with UAVs. Its fragments fell on the territory of the Beriev Aircraft Company.
Another wave of explosions hit the Kursk region. The Russians are making a fuss about how things got heated near the Kursk nuclear power plant.
Every voice matters. Join our community, support independent journalism and help us bring you the truth from Ukraine. Become a member of Ukraine Today. Join us now.
You can clearly see it. A large cloud of thick black smoke was shot down. A significant cloud of dark black smoke was shot down.
According to local residents, the sounds of incoming drones and explosions were heard in the areas of Lov, Rilsk, Zheleznogorsk, Oboyan, Zorino, as well as in the Belovsky district.
Governor Alexander Kinstein reported that this was one of the largest attacks. The Russian air defense supposedly shot down 53 drones here. Local authorities claim that the strike hit a warehouse and a board. A fire broke out there. They say there are no dead or injured. As is customary, the Russian Defense Ministry provided a detailed report on the effective operation of its air defense systems across the entirety of Russian territory and even within the temporarily occupied Crimean Peninsula. The Russians were already having a rough time since the evening. Drones were flying directly towards Moscow.
At once, the carpet plan was implemented at 3 Moscow airports. At Domodedovo, Vnukovo and Zhukovsky, all departures and arrivals were delayed.
Russia is in full-on mysticism mode. A brand new drone crashed right onto the locals' heads. An epic failure instead of a technological breakthrough. It turned out that the pride of the defense industry is shoddy work that even harms its own people. The Kremlin was hoping for a triumph, but it turned into a disaster. After such a scandal, not even Putin will be able to cover up the failure. What is known about Russia's latest disastrous development and what will freeze its production? Everything about this in a minute.
The reason for the crash of the new Russian drone Altus, also known as Alter, in Tatarstan was electronic warfare. At least that's the claim. This version is being pushed by the Ural Civil Aviation Plant, which is still tinkering with this so-called analog-free project. In the morning, frightened by Ukrainian drones, Russians watched a white aircraft flying in the sky. Most likely, it was a Cessna plane conducting visual monitoring. Later, the drone itself took off. A heavy, unmanned aerial vehicle.
In point of fact, the specific and precisely identified location known as the Daknik Operative Dubki, which can be further understood as a particular type of cooperative settlement or a designated operational area, was the exact and definitive setting where an extraordinary and highly significant event, when considered remote and unusual occurrence, transpired and unfolded. This particular site where the notable incident took place is not merely situated in the general vicinity or close proximity of the major urban center and prominent city of Kazan, but is with greater accuracy and geographical precision definitively located at Yesedi, a distinct, identifiable, and specific geographical point. This detailed clarification serves to emphasize the exactness and specificity of the location where these remarkable and noteworthy circumstances came to pass, thereby providing a more comprehensive and thorough understanding of the precise geographical context surrounding the entirety of the event.
This is the descent trajectory of the aerial vehicle as it approached the runway for landing. The Kazan aviation plant, named after Gorbunov, is nearby. It is here that the Tuesday 160 and Tuesday 22M are assembled and modernized. In addition, the tests of the strike drone took place just 1 kilometer from the naval airfield in Berzeglipsk, where the Russians relocated their strategic aviation. In comments provided to the prominent Russian publication Business Online, the Ural Civil Aviation Plant, a significant industrial enterprise strategically located in the city of Yekaterinburg within the Sverdlovsk Oblast, and which, I must remind you, is actively engaged in and working diligently on the highly significant Altus project, a long-term initiative focused on advanced unmanned aerial vehicle development, presented its own comprehensive version of the unfolding events. This extraordinary and notable incident that occurred in the Republic of Tatarstan, a federal subject of Russia, unequivocally demonstrated that the Russian Federation has not, in fact, abandoned its ambitious and long-term strategic project aimed at the creation and development of a sophisticated reconnaissance strike drone, a system designed to be analogous in capability and function to the renowned American Global Hawk unmanned aerial vehicle, which is known for its extensive surveillance and reconnaissance capabilities. Moscow began the project for a heavy UAV with long flight endurance back in 2011. At that time, the Sokol Design Bureau won a contract with the Ministry of Defense worth 1 billion rubles. Within 2 years, the designers presented the first model of the drone, and another 2 years later, in 2015, it briefly took off from the ground for the first time. The delivery of 2 systems was postponed to 2018, but this never happened. Instead, the general director of the Sokol Design Bureau, Alexander Gomzin, was sent to a pre-trial detention center. He was accused of fraud and misappropriation of budget funds. At the same time, the Alter project was transferred to the Kazan branch of the Ural Civil Aviation Plant. How did they refine the UAV there? It's unclear, but 2 years later, the Ministry of Defense made a grand announcement about a 32-minute flight at an altitude of up to 800 kilometers in fully automatic mode. And at the end of 2021, the agency announced the successful completion of trials.
The comprehensive tests of the long-range unmanned aerial vehicle Altus RU have been successfully completed.
Moreover, propagandists rejoiced that this unparalleled development received its own Russian engine to replace the German one, whose supplier stopped deliveries due to sanctions.
The Klimov Design Bureau developed its own VK 800-volt engine, which was suitable not only for the Altus, but also for an entire line of light Russian helicopters that suffered from the same problem as the drone. With the same takeoff power of 800 horsepower as the German engine, our design turned out to be dry, meaning it was simpler and more reliable in terms of oil lubrication and also more technologically advanced thanks to the use of hot isostatic pressing. So, the last weak point of our Altus was eliminated.
At that time, by the end of 2022, the designers had committed to delivering 18 Russified Altus Drive 1s to the Russian Ministry of Defense. Later, they expected another 500 units, but so far, as can be seen, only the residents of Tatarstan have witnessed it in action. By the way, according to journalists from the publication Business Online, on the 30th of June, a Russian court sentenced Alexander Gomzin to 8 years in a penal colony. He is the originator of the first model of the heavy drone. But due to the statute of limitations on the case, he will not spend a single day in prison. And there's another interesting fact in this story. The head of the Simonov Design Bureau, which was declared bankrupt at the beginning of last month, will also resume his activities.
How do you assess the scale of the strikes against the enemy? Share your opinion in the comments, hit the like button under the video and stay up to date with the main news. There are almost 440,000 of us subscribed together with you. More to come. See you soon!